the world today of Minecraft, I would like to do another 2 layers of the sugarcane farm. We'll get that... Shut up, cat. We'll get that kind of sorted. That's quite an ambitious task, actually, to do in, like, what is effectively like a 2.5 hour time frame. Let's see. Doing actual space stuff now. Ooh. Go on. Do tell. Do tell. Getting ready for Falcon Heavy dual drone ship duties. Oh, nice, man. So do tell, T-Man. I feel like I say this every time you pop in the chat. Oh, I'm really behind on, like, my general space news stuff. So I leave it up to you to give me the space news these days. Things that I did see, I saw, I suppose this is kind of old news now. But obviously, Starship has hot staging, which is quite interesting. I did look into a little bit of that. Obviously, Falcon Heavy are about to launch. Propulsion test engineer at McGregor for Raptor. No, that's amazing, dude. Congratulations. That's awesome, man. Okay, I want to get down here. What are we doing? Okay, so what do we have to do along here? I think actually I'm about ready to like fully complete the glass. So it looks like I need lime-stained glass. That's what we kind of need to get a hold of. Then we can also put in the deep slate and the black stone for the actual farm itself, so we can do that. So yeah, lime-stained glass, that's what we're working on at the moment. Okay, got you. Every SpaceX Falcon 9 mission I get to see for free! Awesome. That's really cool, man. Well, congratulations, sir. I'm very pleased for you. Okay, so I've got sticks in my inventory, so let's get rid of the sticks. That's probably the first port of call. Then we will make a bunch of glass with the limestone dye. We'll swap it over to limestone glass. So I bet you've been really busy then. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months-ish. I see. That makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, I can imagine, you know, it's been keeping you busy and stuff, which is cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm happy for you, man. I need to ditch that. Whew, I am already really warm. Yeah, that got me going over to Europe, over to places that I've never been to. Nice. That's really cool, dude. Well, I'm pleased, and I hope, obviously, going ahead in the future, it's, you know, it's just as entertaining and enjoyable, and it kind of grows, and it prospers. I need a name for an axe. Axe me softly. Smaxy. I was gonna go with a pain in the axe. So I'm gonna go with that. Funny story, I had to go to the tripod stand and smash the Lock's turbo pump with a hammer. Awesome. That's awesome, dude. What is the next thing we want to work on? Let's have a look. Efficiency 4? Do I have a spare shovel? I don't think I do, actually, so maybe a shovel is the next. I've got an unbreaking 3 shovel. Oh, I need mending on that, actually, now I look at it. It's my backup axe anyway, so I probably won't use it. Just it froze up during testing. Yeah, so I'll build a new shovel then. That'll be the next thing to go about. And saying we've got an efficiency 4 enchantment, we'll probably just keep that one. So we'll just put that one in there. He's now the alpha nerd of this chat. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. An actual rocket engineer, which is you know, more than I ever managed to do. No, we've been out trumped because we are just, you know, armchair rocket engineers. We sit in a PC and pretend to build rockets. It's fine. He's actually doing that. I just wonder now how those drone ships work. Yeah, I have been wondering for a very long time. Not an ordinary rocket engineer, a metal rocket engineer that did a rock tornado. I mean, yeah, not an ordinary one, you're right. And smash the resume testing on it and it works, so I guess that old saying of smashing with a hammer actually works. Yeah, smashed it. The Lock's turbo pump with a hammer. Just okay. Yes is the answer. Yes. Yes. It's pretty cool. Sorry. So basically what we're doing here with the beacon, I mention it every time we do it. I'm swapping out the iron for emerald so I can reuse the iron for the pistons. The minivan! Yeah, get out of there. So I've reclaimed quite a lot of iron now from that, which is pretty good. We do have a little bit of redstone. It's not that much. If I'm gonna be honest, that amount of redstone probably won't see me too far. I might be able to make like enough observers and pistons and stuff, but when it comes down to like the comparators that I'm gonna need and the repeaters that I'm gonna need, you need all the torches and stuff, and I'm generally not sure whether this is enough redstone. It might be okay. I might be able to scrape through. All I can say is they have great food on Bob and Doug. Nice. Up we go. So what are the things? I mean, if you're working at McGregor. What other sort of stuff do you get to see? I mean, I would imagine that if you're at... Dun, dun, dun. It's mainly raptors, right? At McGregor, or is it other stuff? Is there other stuff there? That was what I was trying to ask. What else is at McGregor? I didn't word it very well. I didn't word my question very well. Good food is always great, absolutely. Merlin test, Falcon 9 test, Raptor vacuum, Raptor test. I have to write data for every engine that gets tested. Probably have like 8 binders at home of all the data. Where are you calling home now? Have you did you have to relocate? Because you used to be in Florida, right? Did you have to relocate for? I presume you're not commuting. And you might be. I don't know. I don't know how. Like, I don't know how feasible that is. It's probably like a 24-hour drive, right? Something like that. I don't know. I generally don't know. I can't comprehend the scope of distance from in the US. I presume you're not going to commute. Or do you do it? Live on site in McGregor. I see. It's great because you smell rocket engine exhaust every time. Nice, dude. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Are you going to go down to Boca Chica then when they do the next Raptor test? Will you get a chance to do that? Again, not really sure on the scale. I know Texas is fucking massive. So it might not be feasible to just drive to or fly, I guess, down to South Padre or I suppose with you being kind of like Texas way, is it kind of easier to kind of like, I don't know. I have questions. I've got so many questions, but I don't want to like, I don't want to like accidentally DOS you, if that makes sense. I don't want to take like too much information. I'm sure you get hounded with these sort of questions by streamers all the time. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? We're doing glass. That's what we wanted to do. Now, we've got... I could smelt up some sand for the glass. I'm not... that might be all the sand we have, though, so I'm a little bit reluctant to do that. I did think we had a secondary shulker box filled with glass, filled with sand. But maybe I already used it. I might have already used it. So, we could... Well, I've got some glass already made up, so we'll use that. But I could also just trade with the emeralds to get glass too. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do too much, so maybe it's a combination of the both. Is it raining? Oh no, it's raining in game. I get hit with these questions from friends that are in the industry. Funny how that works. Yeah. I was the dude that hit the button for ship 25 static fire test. Nice. Ah, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. So, to answer yes. You do go down to Boca Chica. So, that's really cool. I like that. How many? So, okay, so now I do have to ask. Because you always seem to, like, were able to keep count of what Falcon 9 boosters were doing what, and this, that, and the other. Now I'm going to ask, which Raptor engines are currently in operation? I mean, if you're, like, testing them, and I'm like you said, you've got binders of this information. So just give me all of SpaceX's data. I'm sure that's not going to breach any, contract or anything like that. I'm sure you'll be fine, right? You fly down. Okay. Boca Chica Village, which is nice, cool. So you fly down. Okay, so Texas is big. It's like driving halfway across Europe. It's because McGregor's like North Texas, is that right? And obviously Boca Chica is South Texas. So I think, or maybe it might be Central North. And then it's like Southwest. I don't know. And it's free. Nice. Texas is the size of France, or bigger, I guess. I think it's bigger than France, Animal. I think it's bigger than France. But I mean, even France, like, that takes, like, 10 hours by train, and European trains are pretty quick. It takes, like, 10 hours by train to travel from the north of France to the south of France. Sooner than later, I'll be working at Starship Pad at the Cape. Oh, so you get to go back to Florida. Nice. I'm really excited for you, man. I'm stoked. That sounds awesome. I'm pleased you managed to get a job, because I know you were looking at trying to get on the payroll with SpaceX, right, for a while. If I remember right. So, well done, sir. Well done. You have achieved what many have not been able to. Also might be helping convert Slick 6 for Falcon Heavy, Falcon 9. Okay. Would the Strongback be able to deal with that at Slick 6? I guess it was ready, wasn't it? I think they've got a very good Slick 6. Will be helping make history, I hope. Hey, Discount, how's it going, my dude? Sorry, T-Man just jumped us with information. Very big information about his life. Which is very exciting. Dun 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 dun. I'm thinking of a different launch pad. English only, sir. English only. Oh, thanks, Animal. We're basically keeping the infrastructure the same. We're just modifying the flame trench for the transporter. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Ah! No, that's super exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we do have more sand. Okay, we do. We've got lime dyed. There we go. That's what I was after. Right. Let's finish the lime glass. Do we have any green glass? So we definitely need more glass anyway, because I've only got like a little bit of green stained glass. Second warning, English only, sir. I'm just going to time you out. Think about what I've said. You have 10 minutes to think about it. I'm sending you to the sin bin. Get out of it. Was that an Enderman? No, that was the nether portal. I'm an idiot. I can tell you that the metal sandwich that Elon has talked about will absolutely work. Nice, dude. That's really cool. He's got a flower. Okay, I'm gonna use these emeralds to get as much of the glass as we can. 52. Okay, so yeah, so we really don't get too much glass, but that's okay. We'll have to do it gradually, but now the disadvantage of the grand scheme of me trying to replace all of the iron blocks with emerald blocks is I need the emeralds now. Actually, to be fair, we probably don't need the beacon anymore. So I could probably break down that beacon, but I think it would be a wiser choice to keep the emeralds and the iron intact so that we can build the beacon easier. Right, let's go and place the lime glass. But trying to find metal plates that size was difficult. I see. That way. Dun, dun. Interesting that there's just like a hole there, but fine. So I'm propulsion test engineer. I'm also Falcon 9 technician, and I'm also fairing drone ship recovery technician. That's awesome. Well, I that's good, because that means your job has redundancy. You're not just gonna, like, you know, once say Falcon 9 is. I mean, I presume Falcon 9 technician doesn't require as much kind of like research as like working on the Raptor engines. It's English only. Like, what? How is this so difficult to understand? How is this so difficult to understand? It's English only. I don't get it. Am I being botted right now? Is it are they saying the same thing? I don't think they are. Thanks, discount. Yeah, I'm being botted, I think. That is what that is all about. Just ban them, I think. Just get rid of them. We don't need them. And let me tell you that you're on the recovery ship and can see the boosters from 3 miles away. Ah! Yeah, we need more lime glass. We're gonna need a lot of glass. I think I'm gonna have to just start mass smelting sand. That must be what we have to do. Bam 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 bam. If you're not going to communicate in English, then you will be removed. It is as simple as that. And I'm not going to explain that any more times now. The hammer will be out. I will take the hammer the same way that T-Man took the hammer to the locks. It's still so cool. The locks pump. Hydro pumpy thing. I've forgotten what you said. I've forgotten what you said, mate. But the hammer will fix it. Just gonna time them out now too. I just ban them, Animal. I have a feeling that, you know, you say English only and then like 5 other people come in and start sprouting some other language that isn't English. So just ban them. Not offensive. It's not offensive that they're saying, "Oh, have you been Google translating?" Okay. I mean, I just it's just rude. It's not offensive. It's just rude. You know. You know what I mean? Like, just like let's go to someone's house and, you know, not respect them or their rules. It's a little bit weird. Not gonna lie. Don't get it. Request for more tags and comparing the merits of tea and coffee. That's so weird. Talking of tea and coffee, I don't drink tea, I drink coffee. So shall we have? That is really bizarre that's what the Google will translate. Okay, just weird. Coffee. Coffee. Right, let's oh, I'm out of glass again. Yeah, okay, we're definitely gonna have to just smelt down like a bunch of that sand. To be fair, that's what the sand was there for. So let's just start smelting it down and we'll get some more going. We're gonna need about 4 stacks, I think. So I'll tell you what we can do. We could just create like an auto smelter real quick. Set it up down here. Whoop. Oh, do I have any? Oh, there's loads of sand down here as well. Okay, we're good for sand. All right, let's start smelting some sand, shall we? I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work, is it? Is it? No, it doesn't work like that, Womble. Why? It's never worked like that. Like, why would I think that it was gonna start working for them? In any museum that's near the launch site, you get to go to for free. That's a little bonus. So yesterday I was at Vandenberg supporting Starlink and got to see Endeavour Vertical at the new exhibit that they're doing. Yeah, they were moving Endeavour so that it was going to be vertical, right? In the I did see that. So you got to see that. That's awesome, dude. Well, like I said, I'm incredibly impressed. Incredibly impressed and incredibly happy for you. Why do I don't need... Just need the hopper there. There we go. So that'll start smelting down some of the glass. So while we're waiting for that to smelt, let's put down the next load of redstone, I guess. Actually, no, let's do the deep slate and blackstone. Living next to the rocket engines now is very loud and obnoxious, but you love it. Yeah, California Science Center is actually building a shuttle stack that's fully real. The external tank was the last one built, but never flown. The boosters are real, and the shuttle is real. Yeah, this has been in the works for a while, right? Like, they've been planning on doing this for a while, and they got all their funding done for it. So now it's literally the matter of now they're doing it. It's like, I'm going to use those blackstone bricks. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty wild, right? Burnt steaks makes me want steak every day. Yeah, I can confirm Endeavour is vertical at this moment. Yeah. And there was something in my local news about that actually recently, which was weird that we had it, because we're not usually susceptible to that sort of news. So I found it pretty cool that they put it in our news. Okay, so now I guess we can put in the sugarcane. Actually, no, I'm going to put in the row of pistons first, which I can get from here. How many pistons do we have? We've got 25. Okay, not enough. Whoopsie. Okay, so let's go make some more pistons. Do I have... I do. That was a door slamming. Oh, I don't have any cobblestone, do I? Oh, that's annoying. Because cobbled deep slate can't be turned into pistons. Ugh. So I've got to go up anyway. That's obnoxious. No more European launches for Ariane 5. Vega C is grounded because they found more issues with the booster, so it looks like it's going to be SpaceX ULA in Rocket Land at this point in time. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Ariane 5's finished. It's done. Ariane 5 is done. It's finished. And Ariane 6 is so far behind schedule. It's not even funny. Over budget and behind schedule, unfortunately, for Ariane 6. So, yeah. No more European launches from the ESA. Totally relying on the Americans. ESA are now. Because they're not allowed, obviously they're not allowed to use Soyuz anymore. The UK launch was great. I missed it. I was at work. Yeah. Yeah, I was at work. I haven't seen a rocket launch in about 2 years now, because no, less than that. Live, kind of thing, live on the internet. I just haven't, I've been around, so. Cobblestone. Right, let's make a stack of pistons. Do I have any other wood than the wood that I've got in my inventory now? Okay, let's just Do that. Let's make a stack of pistons. Okay, not quite a stack. I ran out of wood, but that's okay. And we have 10 redstone blocks left. Oh, here comes the rain. That bodes well for Silverstone for qualifying. I really hope it's a good race, because I am very much fed up of crap races this year. Yeah, the track water spray was on FP3 this morning. The Mk2 British Grand Prix. Why Mk2? Get out of here. Oh, Calvin Harris is playing. I didn't realise that the launch party had Calvin Harris. Cool. Cool. Didn't know that. And the Black Eyed Peas again. Apart from the Black Eyed Peas without all of it. Basically, it's just will.i.am. I feel like they've done a lot of F1 stuff this year. I mean, obviously they did, is it Miami? When will.i.am did that weird introduction. I saw it with your friend. Might be like the 4th or 5th launch we've seen together. Pretty cool that it's that telescope of all things. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Seen through the internet, that is. Yeah. So the only launch I've kind of seen live was, and when I say live, I was far enough away for not to be able to hear it, was the Virgin Orbit failure. You could see it in the sky. That's all I'm saying. From where I was. Until it decided not to want to go to space anymore. That was January this year, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. They launched one of the Virgin Orbit launches from Cornwall in the UK, from an airport down there. And I wasn't down in Cornwall, but I was close, and you could see it in the sky. So I'm counting that as a rocket launch I've seen. You couldn't hear it though. I was too far away to be able to hear, but you could see it. I mean, I don't know if anyone could hear it really, but yeah. Went completely bankrupt. Yep, that's it. Pretty much, yep. Sold all their assets to Rocket Lab, yeah. So no more Virgin Orbit. Yep, pretty much. A little bit irritating. It was the first ever rocket launch from British soil, and it was a failure. Which does kind of sum up the British kind of like space agency, space program. Way back in the day, in the 70s. In fact, the UK is the only country in the world to have had rocket, space orbital space flight capabilities and then lose it. So in the 70s they had, is it the Black Arrow, I think? It was nicknamed the lipstick, the red lipstick rocket, yeah. Which had a success rate of 50%. Only launched 5 times, 2 of them were failures. So, take that as it is, I guess. But they launched from Woomerang. No, not Woomerang. That's the Kerbal name for it. Woomera in Australia. I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna try. So they launched from Australia, not from the UK. Ariane 5 first flight had a failure because they were using Ariane 4 flight computer, and that didn't work very well, correct? But Ariane 5, let's not forget that Ariane is built by the French, and Vega is built by the Italians. But they do it all for the European Space Agency. Which, technically, I think the UK is still part of. Yeah, I think it's part of it. So the United Kingdom as themselves will not get a space program because they're part of ESA, you see. We have a nickname for Falcon 9 now. What's the nickname? I want to know. Tell all your secrets. Tell us them all. We would like... We want to know. You must feed us the information. I don't need that many sugarcane. I only need like a stack. How are we doing on glass? Not great. Why is it taking so long? What is wrong with this? Come on. Well, we get a little bit more. I'll put that away and we'll get this back out. And I need observers now, which I'll probably have to craft up. Oh no, we've got enough observers. We're okay with observers, at least for this row. That's not the thing that I wanted to put in there. It's now officially called, from me and a couple of my friends at SpaceX, the burnt stick rocket. Why is it called the burnt stick rocket? I need... You can't just say something like that and not explain. The burnt stick rocket. Okay. I guess it is a burnt stick, I guess. I like that though. That's pretty cool. Oh. I thought it was the broomstick of freedom. I can't tell whether you're being serious. I can't tell whether you're being serious. Okay, so let's put... Actually, do you know what the next thing I want to do? I want to do the this bit here because we've got to change all of the walling, and I can only do that once I've put this in. So let's do that. So we need my redstone box, which is in here. Not very many hoppers in there, is there? Or chests, or iron. I only need one sticky piston. I need a repeater. We need the red concrete, and we need 1, 2, 3. Hold on, I'm counting how many hoppers I'm gonna need. I need one more hopper. And then we'll do the rails as well. Some redstone torches. And hopper. Some ice. 69 hoppers and 420 jukeboxes. It's funny because the numbers. Did I use green glass down here, or did I just use standard glass? I used green glass. Okay, that's fine. So we will use lime glass. Process of elimination will... I'm stuck! Falcon Heavy is triple burnt stick rocket. Why is it burnt stick rocket? Why are they not all burnt stick rockets? No! Okay, saved it. Lands and shutters. It's true. I guess that's right. Yeah, it does. What do we need? I need the red concrete. Let's go and get some red concrete. I'm surprised there wasn't any red concrete in my redstone box. It's not the best of redstone boxes, to be honest. Tomorrow's launch has my signature on the rocket, so technically... it's heading into space. Nice. Is that something that you guys do? Do you guys kind of like sign the rockets before they go? Or is it the engines? Certified Merlin engine by T-Man. I presume you don't actually write your Twitch name, you write your IRL name. T-Man was here. And below the landing leg. Okay, so it's below the landing leg. Cool, dude. That's really cool. So is this the first one that has your signature on it going up? Or is it a matter of they're launching so many of these? Which booster is it today? Not today. Which booster is it? For tomorrow's launch. I'm not gonna lie, I've lost count of the boosters. I lost count of the boosters like ages ago. .16. Wow. Okay. So that's got a lot of signatures then, right? Worm booster. Yeah. That's got a lot of signatures then. We need to do this. Whoopsie, not like that. I can hear it. I can hear the slime. I'm gonna ignore it though. First flight of 16. I see. So this will break the record for booster flights. Yeah. I was going to say, like, 1058, that rings a bell. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen a bunch of times when that booster in particular has flown. Right, let's... DM2 crew, that was it. That's why it rings a bell. Yep, that's why it rings a bell. It's Bob and Doug's. Like I said, I lost count of the boosters a long time ago, so... Hope it ends up in a museum someday. I hope it ends up in a museum in like 100 flights time. That'd be cool. Right? First booster to make 100. First booster to send humans to space. First booster... Well, SpaceX booster, I would say. And then land kind of thing. Probably end up at NASA sooner rather than later. Do you reckon? Do you reckon NASA's gonna have it? I mean, it would make sense. Does it? Yeah. So it is the worm booster. Does it still have the worm on it? I'll be honest, T-Man. When you said worm booster, it didn't make sense in my head. Like I couldn't figure that out. I couldn't figure out what that meant, and then now I realize it's the NASA logo with the worm on. Oh, absolutely. Cool. Like I said, I haven't watched flights in a while. I need like a wall, and I don't. Fine. Nearly died. Just covered in dust. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, right. That makes sense, because I remember seeing Bob and Doug sign that booster. I remember seeing the video stuff, because they've signed the booster, right? Can you still see their signatures? That's that's a big question. Did you find them and kind of like just nod? Yeah, 15 flights of dust and dirt like soot. Funny story, one of my friends that doesn't work for SpaceX says, why don't you guys clean the boosters afterwards? And I told them why. Because it would just take too long. The dust and the soot just doesn't add enough mass to affect a performance, so why spend time and money cleaning something when you just don't need to? I presume that's the answer, T-Man, right? Yeah, you can see they're very faint at the moment. I see. What am I doing? So, potentially, if NASA decides to nick that booster, your signature will go on display in a museum. How weird is that? How weird is that? Yeah, it would take forever to clean it. Yeah, it's like, just There's no point. It doesn't have any adverse effect to the actual flight. Doesn't add any significant mass to the booster itself. So why clean it? Thing is with I don't think people quite understand how intensive it can be to. I mean, you're literally. It would mean cleaning a 30-story building or something like that. That's not weird. I'm used to being popular now. Yeah. Yeah, it's like 1,000 man-hours exactly. Because these are not like small little sticks. They're pretty big things. Like, it's just you can't just take a power washer to it and. Well, I mean, you could. You just have to have a very big hose, very big nozzle with high pressure. Just put it underneath the sand trench. I'm kidding, by the way. Yeah, 60 feet tall, weighs about 3 Mack trucks. Exactly. So it's like it's like cleaning a 30-story building after every gust of wind kind of thing. It doesn't quite make sense. Yeah, shuttle transporter that does a good job. Nice. What am I doing? What do I need from up here? I'm getting so distracted today. I mean, let's be fair, that's not out of the ordinary. And I do have a very good reason to be distracted today. How am I gonna do this? What would be the best way? I'm gonna open this and then I can get out of that little hole I created. Do you know what? I think it's just better if I build it and then I can kind of decide if I'm doing it right or wrong. So, first thing we need is this one to be where the minecart hoppers are going to be. So let's set up because this, and that need to be hoppers, and then that piece there is a dispenser or dropper. And we will close that off in a sec. This piece, I guess, is the ice. Oh, we need a sign as well. I don't have a sign. I'll tell you what, we'll come back for the sign. Ah. How do I get out of here? Oh my god, there's so many places to like fall down in this. Soon I'm not going to be able to jump up because I'll be knocking my head on that. Let's just say about for half of an hour I'll be at Slick 40. Rolling the rocket out. Nice. 4.5 hours. So where are you now? I presume you're in Florida already then. Ready for it. I presume you're already down there. mile per hour because rocket, yeah. Dude, like I'm generally I've already said it. I'm dead pleased you've managed to get. You get to do something that you wanted to do for a while, so. Oh, where's my glass? I need to go and get the glass. Okay. Hang out the Hanger X at your desk. Nice. Nice, dude. Well, I never thought that my stream would be being broadcast, I guess. Not broadcast, that sounds too big. I never thought that it would be watched at Hanger X. It's pretty cool. When I'm not doing testing or rocket things, I get to hang out on Twitch so I can still be a Rocket Nerd fan. No, that's cool, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, like with the way that my job works now, I don't really get to do as much rocket stuff as what we used to do on the stream. Like my schedule is not as flexible as it used to be. It's very rigid. And I do struggle to find time to. We need more glass. I'm gonna need more lime dye as well. Interesting. Okay. Well, I should have enough glass, the lime glass, to be able to do it. NASA spaceflight up. We have other Twitch streamers up, so it's kind of a normal. And you're one of the lucky ones today. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I guess it makes sense that you would have like NASA spaceflight and things like that up because they're obviously they do a lot of, I guess, press work. It's cool to think like kind of how much that NASA spaceflight has grown. Like they are them and Lab Padre and every day, and you know, like they've really become like journalists that, but not like shit journalists. Like they actually do a very good job. Specialized journalism, I guess. A 65-inch monitor. That's bigger than the monitor that I'm using now. That's bigger than the monitor I'm using now. I'm an idiot. Of course that wasn't going to work. That will work though. No. Oh, it won't go down because I've still got the rail there. There we go. I wasn't an idiot. Well, I was being an idiot, but... not the idiot I thought I was. Sound quality in this hangar is pretty good, for what it's worth. Nice. I'm pleased the sound quality is good. Oh, come on. Get... Boop. Okay, we've got the minecart hopper in place. It should be covering both of the hoppers, which is cool. Are you watching Womble with others? Oh no. Do 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 do. We'll put the comparator in and then we'll put the observers on, I think. Sticky. No, that's not right. I'm doing it wrong. Oh, that's so annoying. I hate it when that happens. Soon Womble will be famous and fail to reorganize me as a friend. Reorganize me or recognize me as a friend? Womble will be famous. That's... I mean... I guess famous is relative, right? Like... Fame in what sense? Perfect. Okay, so that's now all set up. So as soon as I throw... Perfect, it works, which is good. Does mean that I'm gonna start having to actually link up the collection system at some point, but we'll do that after. 1 billion views per stream. I don't think so somehow. That would be quite an achievement, because I'm pretty sure that's more than what SpaceX pull. I need my last cup of coffee. Do people play KSP on the work floor? That's a good question. Still get to play KSP. They actually encourage it. That's awesome. Do they encourage playing Kerbal 2 though? That's the big question. How do they feel about the newest edition? Need to get rid of that. I don't think I'll ever get that red concrete back, so... Oh wait, no, I've got an ender pearl. I'm saving it though. Oh, I need... Wait. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I got a little bit panicky there that I'd done this wrong. I haven't done it wrong. KSP2, KSP1, they don't care. Just play Kerbal. There's no boosters in the hangar. We play on the theater stream, dude. That's that's wicked. I like that. Why is this there? I don't want that. Something isn't adding up here. That's why.
But you think for once in your life you can manage to arrive
before the nick of time? Animal gave 3 months of tier 1. Wow, thanks Animal. There you go, T-Man. You've got 3 months of tier 1 subs. Thank you, Animal. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Enjoy the emotes. Before the ads blast you. I did set this up wrong, but it's okay. It's an easy fix. I guess we can just jump over like that. No, that's right. It's this bit. Right? Oh, no, I don't know. No, it's that way around. That's the way around we do it. Okay. Let's get the repeaters out. Appreciate it, yeah. No, I appreciate it as well, Animal. I appreciate that. You didn't have to. I just tried to open this thinking it was my redstone shulker box. I thought this was that. I just trolled myself. I don't know how. I need some dust as well. Showing some of my SpaceX buds, some of my KSP creations, and just say that we have some ideas to help you when you get back to KSP. Cool. I will get back to KSP at some point. It will happen. Well, thanks, T-Man. I appreciate that. You don't have to do it. It is certainly not a requirement to be here. There are no requirements, to be fair, you know. I want my concrete back, and I may as well collect the sugarcane that's been jumped in there. They were laughing at some of my failures. I'm glad I can entertain. Glad I can entertain. Which failures? Which failures? I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the best at Kerbal anyway. I'm certainly not the best, but I do like learning from my mistakes. Oh, I remember what I needed to do now. Got ya. I almost forgot to do this bit. Yeah, like I said, I'll get back to Kerbal. It's just going to take me time. I'm still in a process of kind of... At the moment, I'm really enjoying Minecraft and Minecraft logic and stuff. So, and just general creativity. Dived into the clips. I mean, I've got a lot of the VODs for the last round of Kerbal. So the Mark IV save, which was the one with all the really weird rules about when to launch and stuff, we did yesterday. I mean, a lot of the VODs, they were all saved and put onto YouTube, right? We were actually saying at the beginning of the stream, it's been really weird because I've been getting a lot of attention on YouTube. Not like loads, but more than what that YouTube channel has ever really experienced. And bear in mind, before I did Twitch, I just did content on YouTube, and like it was very rare that I would get any more than like 10 views per video. But I just did it because I was enjoying, one, editing, and two, playing video games, all sorts of video games, mainly story-based video games. That was kind of like what I did as a content creator, and a lot of the stuff from all the way back then is very, very cringy. Like, I would think I would struggle to watch it back now, just because it's weird. But it's all still up there. Like, I never got rid of it because, you know what, I'm not the sort of person that hides their past and hides their mistakes. Hey, we got another minecart hopper. Perfect. Oh no, I didn't want to jump down. I was very proud with some of the Kerbal rocket builds, though, that I used to do. Like the Electron style one that I did with like the really small spark engine configuration thing. I really like that. That was me pushing the game at a micro level, and I always thought that was pretty fun. Like, it was all vanilla and stuff. But that one, I think that one broke. Like, so one of the updates in Kerbal meant that I couldn't like detach the batteries the way that we had detached them in the past, and it would just blow up the rocket. So we couldn't like stage off the batteries the same ways that Electron does. So I used a glitch, and that glitch got patched, so it just blew up the rocket. So it doesn't work anymore. Also at McGregor live from NASA spaceflight. You might catch a glimpse of me in the cameras from time to time. Nice, dude. Sorry, I've got like really bad eczema. I don't know if you can see on my hands. It's not actually eczema, it's psoriasis. And it's just flared up again. It's not nice. It's not nice. It doesn't help when my job involves a ridiculous amount. Well, not a ridiculous amount, just a high amount of hand washing and hand hygiene. Because if you're doing anything clinical, any sort of clinical work, you obviously need good hand hygiene. But it does make my hands very, very sore, and right now they're just flared up. What are your thoughts on what you think of a short MVAC nozzle? Do you know, for vacuum nozzles, I always like the idea of nozzle extenders, but I was never sure how easy that would be to implement, you know? So having short nozzles is weird to me, because obviously vacuum nozzles do have those. They are obviously a lot longer so that you can reduce the plume out in like all the different directions. But you're the expert, dude. Didn't there was a thing about the MVAC nozzles fairly recently, wasn't there? That SpaceX were going to have smaller ones. Some Falcon 9 launchers don't need all the performance of the shorter nozzles, so shorter nozzles is the result. Yeah. Transporter 7 was the first launch of it. Got you. The shorter MVAC nozzle. Interesting, interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense from a mass reduction system, because, you're skimming off as much mass as what you can do, right? And if you don't need the thrust, it makes sense. But then, for a production point of view, how easy is it to create two different types of nozzles? Now, I presume SpaceX has big facilities to be able to manufacture. So I'm thinking of like a manufacturing point of view. Camera perspective looked weird, does it? Transporter 7. Hold on, let me have a look. I didn't realize that they'd already launched the short. But I didn't realize that the shorter MVAC nozzle had launched. Let me have a look. Oh, it does look weird. It really does. It is quite a bit shorter, doesn't it? It doesn't fill up all of the camera the way that they used to. Shh. Here. I don't want this one. I want hold on, bear with me. Where's this? Bear with me. Bear with me. this is the image that I was interested in. I wanted to see how much of the actual inside you could see now that you've got the shorter nozzle. This looks weird because you can really see like a lot more of the interior of the nozzle itself. That's pretty cool. It looks awkward. It really does. Like it's actually very simple, like manufacturing wise. Interesting. Camera perspective looks weird. Yeah, it really does. It's interesting that it balances well for cost saving, given that technically alters the manufacturing. Yeah, that's interesting to me as well. I mean, isn't that what innovation is though? Like you try, I'm gonna mute it. It's a very pretty launch, this was. It's even weirder during the second stage flight. Yeah, this. Look at that. Elon stated that the production line design is 10 times more complex than the end to make than the end product. Interesting. The production line design is 10 times more complex. Hey. On one of the Everyday Astronaut Starbase tours. Do you know what? I've seen that, yes. I know which one you're on about, Animal. Almost looks like they forgot the bell. Yeah, I know, right? We're missing part of the engine. The first one of the two, yeah. It looks weird, but I mean, if it works, right? Like, it makes sense to do things. Ooh, did you see that? I saw that. It's fine, that was my desktop. John, did you eat the engine nozzle again? Right, what are we doing? What am I doing? I need to focus. So I know Animal and Discount, you two are available for D&D. I never heard back from Janice and Kath, which is gonna hop out for groceries shortly. Okay, I just wanted to confirm that you guys were still good. If Kath and Janice was, I never actually checked Discord. Actually, I probably should have. Let me have a look, real quick. Yeah, Janice was okay, so it's just Kath. I do kind of need everyone for this one. So if I think Kath said he might be traveling, but he hasn't like confirmed or denied it. So if Kath doesn't turn up, we will play something else. If it's the camera perspective, but it's weird. Well, they use a fisheye lens, right, on the camera. So that kind of blows everything up anyway. But I agree, it is weird. It does look weird. It does look weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I need... Here, let's have a look. There is messages in the Dungeons and Dragons thing. Okay, should be okay. I swear I applied to this. I'm good. Okay, that was... See, this is why I need to read chat. That was on the 5th. Okay, so Kath's good. No, Jen's good. Animal's good. Discount's good. It's just Kath who hasn't been online, which makes me think he's probably not good, because we knew he was going on vacation, right? So if if Kath doesn't turn up, we'll play something else. We will play something else. Something that we've all got. Something on tabletop. Maybe like a board game or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we could do Betrayal. Actually, that might work. Betrayal might work. We haven't played that in a while, right? So that can be our backup. Our backup game. Because like I said, we need Kath for it. Where is the gate? Gate. I need a gate. Oh, please. I know I made loads of them. I made like 10. I put them somewhere. Gate posts. Ugh. Wonder if they're upstairs. Ow. I always forget that there's like a pane of glass there. Also, instead of landing boosters for crew on the drone ship, we're now landing them back on land. And the cargo missions are landing on the drone ships. So crew launches are back at landing zone 1. But the cargo is still out on the drone ships. Why is that? Because surely the mass for Cargo Dragon and Crew Dragon can't be that much different. More mass on cargo? Maybe? I mean, I would expect there can't be that much of a difference. Actually, yeah, I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it, Discount? Because you have to... Like, the mass of the humans is going to be a changeable mass, right? So, realistically, you're never going to get 4 human beings that max out the mass requirement for the humans, right? More mass on cargo than crew these days. Yeah. And with it, obviously, it's better to err on the side of caution, I guess, with your mass requirements. So I guess it makes sense. Where are my gate posts? I've got spruce gate posts. I'm sure I had mangrove ones. Oh, I hate living in. Not carrying up extra solar panels or heavier equipment to fix things. Got you. On the crew launches. Yeah, okay. Well, I always like a good crew launch. I always try and watch the crew launches because they, for me, they're quite special. They're special, right? It's weird to me that we have got to a point with Falcon 9 where they've launched so many of them. They're not really that special anymore, are they? The launches are very special, but we've seen so many of them. It's crazy that we've got that. I don't want the Achacha fence posts. I mean, we've got Achacha wood there. What did I'm sure I used mangrove. I might have just used spruce. If I use spruce, then we'll use the spruce down here. No, I used mangrove. I did use the mangrove wood. So where are the rest of the mangrove fence? Surely I didn't just make one. Finish the rollout panel delivery. Ah, interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, instead of 3 engine entry burn, think of it reversed. Is landing burn for entry burn for landing. Got you. Okay. Yeah. Because you have more delta V up there to be able to burn back further. So then that slows you down. Slows the thing down. Yeah, it's like a... So I presume the velocities that you are like on for landing. Three engine entry burn. One engine ending entry burn, and it's reversed. It's landing burn for entry, entry burn for landing. Yeah. So we only need one engine for entry and then 3 engine for landing. Yeah. No, it makes sense, right? Yeah, because if you use more delta V on your entry burn, then that means you're going to pick up more delta V as you start having the effects of gravity again, right? So that means that you're actually the energy you're spending up there is it's like accelerating. No, it's like braking when you're going downhill. And then you stop braking, you're going to be picking up that velocity again, because by the time you get to the bottom of the hill, you're just going to have to brake again, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if I can articulate it very well. VTOLs are very hungry in fuel. Yeah. I can't find these. I must have only made one. I must have only made one. So let's make some more. I need about 10 because we're doing 10 of these layers, right? So pop those in there. Cargo emissions are the normal Falcon 9 profile. Interesting. Yeah, more gravity acceleration. Yeah. Again, like I said, I don't think I really like explained that very well, but it's fine. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? We want to put in the fence. Do I normally put it on this one or do I put it on this one? I think it's that one there. Okay, so now we can put in the minecart hopper, which is now primed, and we can test the delivery system by opening and closing the gate. And the collection system is working. Perfect. So now all we need to do is hook up the observers. And I guess we need to start also putting in the glass again. Some more glass. Let's just... There we go. It gets rid of the sugarcane in my inventory, which I don't need right now. That will just despawn. I'm aware of that. Observers are always over. Oh! Other way around. Falcon Heavy is going to use the crew landing profile for dual drone ships. Mass saving from this change is crazy to think for a math standpoint. Wait, it's going to use the crew landing profile for a dual drone ships. Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. For a second there, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, I'm going out for groceries, and you didn't. Okay, go out for go and get groceries. You've got like an hour until we're doing our thing, whatever we're doing. You have an hour. Go! No pressure. Go, 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 go! Pressure, pressure, pressure! We need... Now I need the deep slate and... yeah, we'll go with that. I think pretty much all of this layer is just going to be the tiled deep slate, and then we can... Well, actually, no, we could probably do tiled deep slate and combine it into the cobbled deep slate, maybe, and normal deep slate. Do kind of like a mix of all the different deep slate. I don't think we need any more blackstone, so all of this blackstone is now good to kind of be put into long-term storage. By the way, storage, long-term storage. At some point, I will need a storage room. Now, the storage room isn't going to be here, like the main big storage room. I'm going to have like a proper sorting facility. So the idea is all of these like farms and stuff. So the sugarcane farm, this will just have like a local storage for the sugarcane, and we just take what we need from there, put it into like shulker boxes, and take the shulker boxes off manually to my actual storage facility, which will be elsewhere. And that storage facility will like, all you have to do is just throw in the shulker boxes, and then it like auto sorts everything from the shulker boxes themselves. I'll probably use a minecart hopper system for the actual storage sorting, so it's nice and quick. At least that's the idea anyway. Do I do coffee now or wait for an hour? Coffee now. Okay, I'm gonna make up some tiles. So I'm gonna do like... Most of them are gonna be tiled deep slate, and then some of them are just gonna be like cobbled deep slate kind of thing. And that's kind of gonna be the gradient that we use. Very much the same where it's... Well, we have the ship, but it's a few years before it really starts to get used as the rest of the industries catch up. Yeah. It's nice to see some Falcon Heavy launches. Yeah, I'm glad that Falcon Heavy hasn't gone to waste. Heaviest payload for Falcon Heavy, nice. Water transportation system with packed ice makes it easier. So the reason why I want minecart hoppers is because the items in the minecart hoppers... Well, actually, it'll be minecart chests, right? That are fed into by hoppers, I think. I think you can do that. But the minecart hoppers, or minecart chests or whatever, they don't create like a million different entities, if that makes sense. So all the entities are inside the minecart hopper. And I'll just have like a chain of these hoppers that will like stay in storage. At least that's what I'm thinking of. I might, like, the thing is, like, if I did a water transportation system, it does tend to lag the game with all the different items. Because if you think all of these chests, like, you've got, like, all of these stacks of stone just, like, going off, like, in water transportation. If your storage system is big enough, they will start to despawn as they're going around the storage system. You don't have any serious lag issues or whatever, yeah. So I don't want to cause lag on the save by doing a water system. So there's multiple advantages of using minecart hopper stuff. Also, it's a new challenge for me. I've done sorting systems with water transportation before, and there's definite disadvantages to it. So, yeah. There's advantages to it because it's easy to make, but the disadvantage is that obviously, you know, you do have a tendency for some of the items to despawn, and I kind of don't want that. So yeah, in this area is just going to have like local farm storage kind of thing. So they won't go into the main general storage. We might later on down the line like create connection ports so it all goes into one central place. Maybe. I don't know. 1 hour, Janice. Correct. I haven't heard from Kath. I think he's traveling today, so he might not be available. So we were saying, I was kind of saying, I definitely need Kath for this D&D session now. So if Kath doesn't turn up, do you want to play some Betrayal at the House on the Hill, Jen? With Discount and Animal. That's kind of like as a backup. Also, how are you, my dear? But yeah, I'm gonna have fun later with sitting on the transporter erector for rollout. Dude, like, I'm quite jealous. And I'm glad my stream is now, you know, hot topic of SpaceX employees. Not really a hot topic. I'm glad that SpaceX employees have been laughing at my failure to make rockets in Kerbal. I like that. That's funny. What do I need? Okay, so we've got our deep slate tiles here. So I think I might just have like the odd little piece of cobbled. Whoops. Oh, I see. I see what I did. I'm an idiot. I put it in front of the observer. Of course, I was like, why did that trigger? I triggered it with the observers. I mean, it's fine. That's no small transporter either. It's like 70-foot building rolling out at once. Yeah. Which makes sense why it's a slow process, right? Yeah. Let's work on this edge around here, because we didn't really get to do that. I'm dandy as candy, just getting out of bed, I'll be BRB. Okay, no worries. Do you know what the other funny parts is? We downloaded the clips so we can always go back to them later. That's brilliant. I love that. Oh dear. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how my ego can, how much battering my ego can take. It's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. I do get big-headed sometimes. Put me in my place, you know? Ow. Ah. Yeah. Is there anything in there that I desperately want? No. Oh, I hate not having any inventory space. Yes, you feel great about it. Yeah, I know, right? I do. No, in all seriousness, I do. It's quite humbling that you would pick my stream to do that. In all seriousness, it's a very humbling thing, and I do appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Let's put my redstone I don't need away. I'm also going to put the red concrete away because we don't need that. Don't need those. Put the mangrove. Oh, that's where they are. I knew I'd made more. I knew I had made more. The fence gates, they're actually in my redstone box. Right, so when I am looking for them again, chat, please remind me. They're in my redstone box. And I'm gonna start dumping a bunch of stuff in here. Planks can go away. The torch can go away as well. Yeah, no, in all seriousness, it's a very nice thing that you've done, and you didn't have to do that, so I do appreciate it. Bum, bam, bam. That's not going to affect the redstone, so that's good. We downloaded some of the KSP VODs as well. Nice. Well, like I said, all of my KSP VODs are on YouTube. So they're all there. Free to watch at any time you'd like. I think the thing that I'm always dead pleased with my KSP playthroughs is it's not necessarily the rocket building. I mean, I'm average at being able to build like rockets and that sort of stuff in Kerbal, right? I can kind of do it. Like I'm not terrible, but I'm also not like amazing. Definitely not the best like content creator when it comes to Kerbal related stuff, right? But I can get by. Ugh, gotta go all the way down here. I'm not gonna bother with the stuff there. Okay, this is where I need the ice, which I don't have. The thing that I was always really pleased with was the way I recorded the data for the flights. I thought that was... I weirdly found that quite fun to like input it into a shared collective thing to log every flight, to kind of give a brief summary, a summary of the launches and stuff like that. I was always very pleased with the way that I set that up, and still am to this day, which is why it's all still available. Like I never got rid of it. It's all available on with the links and stuff. So if you did like !WombleX, I think, all of those links are still active, I believe. That's how you do it in real life. Fun fact. That is amazing that independently I have, I guess accidentally, because, you know, I accidentally came up with a system that is very similar to how you do it in real life. That's pretty cool. I like that. Mind you, it wasn't my idea. It wasn't just solely my idea to do that sort of a thing. I think other streamers did that as well. I think I first saw Jimorian do it. So I guess it's not actually my idea. It's Jimorians. Is that gonna look weird though? I don't think it really matters. I think that's where I got it from. I think I got it personally from like Jimorian. I've seen EJ do something similar before as well, and Rocket Guy. He does similar sort of things, or did. I don't know. I haven't watched those guys in a long time. Apart from Jim, I watch Jim all the time. Actually, we'll do that. So it's nice to know that I'm doing it the same way that, or at least I did it the same way that they did it though. You know, you guys do it as well. You know, it's not the fun part working at SpaceX, cleaning up the rocket engine failures on the test stand. The rocket engine... It's not the fun part working at SpaceX, cleaning up the rocket engine failures. How many rocket engine failures do you get at McGregor? It was a big commitment to detail. I've tried to keep a log of active flights, and that's been hard enough, to be honest. Yeah, no, it is. It's not an easy thing to do, and at times I regretted it because it would take up just as much time as actually playing the game. But looking back, I'm still glad I did that, and I will definitely do it in the future. I might do it like a simpler version of it in the future though. Probably won't be as complex. It's kind of how I maybe did it in the past. Just slowly introducing the cobbled deep slate. Don't want to put too much in. It's only for Raptor. Merlin is perfect. Probably 90 to 95% failure chance of Raptor engines. Interesting. I mean, the thing is, failure is a good thing, like, you know, in a way. So I went to a research study for something completely not related to rockets, but I'll tell you anyway. I went to a research study last weekend to find out the occurrences of to see if we could prevent vasovacals, which is when you feel faint after you've donated blood. Because that's kind of my line of work now, is I take donations from the general public to be used in transfusions for very, very poorly people who need it. That's my job. It's a job I'm incredibly passionate about, and it's a job that I really, generally, really do enjoy. And there was like kind of a convention in Cambridge. But basically, we did a study in the UK on ways to reduce feeling faint for donors who donate blood, right? Because it does happen, you know, people do feel unwell from time to time. And unfortunately, the research they did, like, so they added like a bunch of different things during the trial, and the trial lasted like 3-4 years. And they did a bunch of different things. They tried like a bunch of different methods. Unfortunately, none of the methods seemed to make any difference to how people felt unwell. But you know, there's no such thing as bad research, right? Like, we still got data from it that we didn't have before. We still took like a ridiculous amount of samples for study and research and everything like that, and those samples have also been used in other studies and things like that, which has came up with some pretty exciting stuff. So, you know, you always learn, even if it's some not necessarily a result that you want. You're always going to learn from trialing stuff. It's also because we upped the chamber pressure to 330 bar. Interesting. I heard something about Elon. Elon says it. Yeah, Elon said it was Raptor 3. I'd heard about that. Did he mention that to Everyday? Was it Everyday that he mentioned that to? In one of the Everyday interviews? I forget. I'm not the best at remembering everything. I'm learning every day about Raptor data. Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. That's the thing. As long as you're learning, like, there's no negative stuff that you can do from like research like that. Like, failure is not necessarily like a bad word. So, yep. Yeah, it was on Twitter in it was in a Twitter hangout. Okay. I vaguely remember something. Like I said, I tend not to have too much to do with like engineering stuff these days. Well, I never really did, but I don't get to read the news as much as I used to now, because my job is a lot more rigid with the way that we spend our time. I'm a very busy human being, unfortunately. A busy human being with quite a big social life as well at the moment. I always feel like someone wants to do something. You know, it's so that's another excuse. My bedroom is just going to be Raptor data. This is bad. Okay. I've used all of my tiled deep slate. So we've kind of done the majority, I think, of the decoration in here now for a little bit. That side looks better than this side. This looks a little bit flat. Probably need a little bit more cobbled deep slate actually in here. $16 to $20 airplane trips a month because of launches. Yeah, you're tired. I can understand that. I would love to travel like that though. I love just traveling and doing all sorts. So next, in September, I'm going to do like a big travel tour around Europe, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to a bunch of places in Germany. I'm going down to Italy, and I'm going up to France as well. So gonna get to go and do loads of cool stuff. So I'm kind of excited for that. Okay, where is my glass? Oh, I've not got much of it left. Let's just go around and... get this bit in. Something that we should probably do, I should probably get rid of that. I knew that was going to happen. I need to put the redstone in behind here so that we hook everything up to the repeater. It's back there as well. I don't have any more glass. New tradition, every time a booster lands, we drink a sip of whiskey. It's not a bad tradition. Okay, I need like a signpost. A signpost. Which I don't have the stuff for right now. Oh, I took all of my wood out of this chest. And we also need some more lime-stained glass. Which I think we need more lime dye now, right? Potentially. Drink a sip of whiskey. What type of whiskey? Is it bourbon? I would imagine it's bourbon. It's not going to be Scotch, surely. Animal is laughing. Why is Animal laughing? That always makes me scared. I'm Becky. No, that's my sister. What do I need? Why did I come up here? What do I need? What do I need? I need lime dye. That's what we need. So we need the green and the white, which we don't have any white left. Is there any bone meal in any of these? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Totally Scotch whiskey. We drink like real men. What vintage? What single malt? Is it single malt Scotch? I mean, bear in mind, I live very close to, well, relatively close to like Scotland and other places where they actually make the Highland single malt scotches. So I will be very judgmental if you don't pick the right ones. Can you make lime with the green and the yellow? No, you can't, because that's silly, Womble. Why would you make lime from green and yellow when you can make it from green and white? Just feel like naturally lime has more yellow in it than white. But what do I know? What do I know? Animal's your sister? What's that? What? No. I don't know what you're talking about. Nail it. If it fails, we have to switch positions on the team. Oh, I see. Okay. So a little bit of superstition happening at SpaceX. I get it. I get it. Okay, we've got another stack in a bit. I need to cook up some more glass. So let's get some... I'll tell you what we can do. We'll just, we'll set up a lava bucket. I mean, we've got unlimited lava, right? Like, in small doses, we've got enough lava to... So I just wanted to set him on fire for no reason. No reason. So set that up. And then get the rest of the sand that I've kind of got down here, and I'm just gonna... Oh, there it is. Put as much of the sand that we can actually fit in there. Those plane drips are on civilian airliner plane, business class, if you don't mind me asking. Private jets. Interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense because private jets, you can kind of like say, right, this is, you know, like we can get you out at X amount of time kind of thing. Direct route, exactly. You get to go where you need to go on time. It's basically luxury as well, yeah. Waiting at an airport for getting to another plane, yeah, exactly. Well, you still have to wait at the airport. I guess you wouldn't need to go through passport control. But surely you have to go through, like, security at the airports and stuff. I have never got on an aeroplane and gone to the same country, like, to my own country. I've never done that. Layover waits, yeah, I would imagine. What was I thinking there? I could have just put the piston on. You don't even need to go through security. Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that that was a thing, but then, like I said, that's how luxurious it is. Okay, I see. Interesting. I've never had a experience with, like, traveling on an aeroplane without having to go through, like, security and passport control and all that sort of stuff. Like, when you fly, because you mentioned that you have flown out to Europe a few times. When you've gone out there, I presume that is more commercial. Okay, we need some more lime concrete to do these little circuits that we've kind of got nested in there. And then once we've got those circuits on, the whole of this is complete. I need to get out of here. I forgot that there was a hole. Also, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try and catch it all. You get rid of the scaffolding and just, you know, try and catch it. Then we'll go down here. There we go. That fills in that bit there. This I've got to be a little bit more careful with. So that's got to go there. That one's got to go there. No, that one has to go... There? There? trying to copy it from below, but it's actually not overly easy. It's gonna be like this, right? And then this bit is down here. I think that's how I have it below there, so that makes sense. And then we've still got this gap to fill. Never need to fly commercial is the only reason that you went to Europe. The one time is because we ran out of certain materials. The only place they had it was in Europe. Okay, so no, private jet, just bigger. So that wasn't. So that was also a private jet. Interesting. So my next question is, when you did go to Europe, did you have to deal with airport security then? I presume you probably did. Even though you've got a private jet, you still have to go through the airport, right? Passport control and all of that stuff, surely. Or is there like a special way around it? How long did it take? How long was the flight, T-Man? The only time I had to go through security, yeah. And that makes sense. That makes sense. Like when you're traveling like that, you have to go through like security and passport control and things. Starting to look good. I still don't have enough glass. There. Cool. Went from London to LA in 9 hours. 19 hours? Because we made stops on the way. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, LA to London is 9 hours, but that's our direct flight, so... I presume you flew into Heathrow, T-Man. Well, actually, maybe not. You said Europe. You didn't say... Yeah, you said Europe. You didn't say the UK. Commercially, you most go through Heathrow or like Amsterdam. Amsterdam's quite a big connection flight. Played video games on the key because we can do that, yeah. Ah! Did it? Got it. Oh, you flew into Gatwick. Okay. Also interesting. Gatwick is the UK's 3rd biggest airport, I think. That's commercial as in passenger. Not cargo. It's different. I think for cargo might also be Gatwick, actually. I know Donington is the biggest airport in the UK for cargo. That's my local airport. But it doesn't do international flights. Donington does. Well, it does do international flights, just not to like transatlantic kind of thing. We still need more glass, so let's make some more glass. But I'm almost done with the lime stained glass now, which is great. So after this, after I've done like the lime stained glass on here, we will do the lime concrete around the back, and we'll connect up pretty much everything. And I kind of want to mirror what I did below. So the glass here is going to help a lot. Oh, I missed a block. I missed a block here. Okay, we need to get some tile deep slate to that. But more importantly, T-Man, I don't think I ever asked, do you enjoy your job? I mean, I feel like I know what the answer's going to be, but I just want to make sure, you know? Is it as enjoyable as you thought it would? I imagine some days it's tough, like, you're probably drowning in, like, stats and things like that, right? But is it overly enjoyable? Doot, 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 doot. We'll do that many sticky pistons. Absolutely, yeah. I think that was the that's the correct answer, I think. Okay, let's take this as well, and then we'll pop the rest of the redstone in. Can you show me your sugarcane farm? I really want to see it. Here it is. We've got layer 1 down there, layer 2. This is my sugarcane farm. It's all automatic. It's dead simple. Observer detects the sugarcane. That fires off the pistons. I'm now integrating... Also, hey, Mayo. Welcome in. I'm now integrating the collection system so that it can pick up... I need to get rid of like some of this. So we're now integrating the collection system so that pretty much any of the observers can activate it. Yeah, it's a basic system. It's so basic. What is more complicated about this is that whenever the minecart travels down the network, I mean it's not complicated, but the lights turn off. So then you can always see from above. You'll be able to see when a minecart hopper is collecting the objects, right? There's also a pretty much observer-facing collection system. So if there's anything that goes in, it goes into a water line, which is not complete. This is at the moment it's just like water that drops the sugarcane down there. Like it's not actually going into a system at the moment. So at the moment the sugarcane is getting wasted, but I'm going to build the whole thing and then I'll do the collection system. System you're using too. In the past, because I've done multiple different like sugarcane systems, in the past I usually go for a rare like kind of a flying machine setup. That's usually my go-to, but I decided this time to do, the simple, basic, easy system. I'm gonna put down the repeaters first, and then I will do the kind of like everything else. So we'll do the repeaters just so that they're in the right place. might not have enough lime concrete, actually. Literally just rinse, repeat for this. I've got no way out. I learned that Falcon 9 actually has redundant pushes on the landing legs. So if once they don't push landing legs for the deployment, there is a backup system. That's cool. I bet working at SpaceX, you've kind of like picked up so much stuff. That there will be loads of things that you are now, you need to teach me everything you know. Again, not going to be a breach of contract, none at all. Don't worry about it. It's fine. it's fine. I just need to know. You know, it's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna do the repeaters. Is that 2 ticks? It's 2 ticks, not 3. So like I said, I'm gonna place in the repeaters first, and then we'll put in the actual dust themselves. Bam. Made it. Ah. Wait, no, I can get under, so. There's things I want to tell you, but you can't because of fucking ITAR. I know, right? Yes, yeah. Damn ITAR. How dare they ruin the fun of streamers? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's loads of stuff that you could tell me. So if anyone doesn't know what ITAR is, that is the American kind of prevention of rocket technology getting out. Because effectively rockets are big explodey things, and you don't want everyone knowing about how to use rocket stuff. So yeah. It's so cool. Yeah, I can imagine it's cool. The thing is, you could probably tell me and I probably wouldn't understand it, let's be honest. The internet loves to speculate. I know, right? Is that 2 ticks? That looks like 2 ticks as well. But the turbo pump freezing out with a hammer, I could tell you because I talked to the boss. Nice. I just like the fact that you took a hammer to it. Okay, now let's put in the sticky pistons. Wait a sec. I missed some of the concrete. And like we said, we're just gonna... Oh! There's a extra repeater on this one. Why did I do that? I must have been having issues with this side of the collection system. Oh well. I mean, if it's working down there, it's going to work up here, so. Oh no, I'm good. Thought I'd run out. And that block there. Hey Serenity, how are you? Welcome in. It was liquid oxygen side, which is interesting, not the methane side. So what actually happened with that then? Alright, let's put in the sticky pistons now. Then we will finalize everything with the redstone dust last. I think that's the best way to go about it. just gonna carve away a little bit more of that rock too. I've started cooking. Animal, you've got like 15 minutes. And then we're gonna switch over, just so you're aware. Switching over to probably not Dungeons and Dragons. There hasn't been any sign of Kath, so I do have a feeling he is in the middle of his holiday period. So we'll probably switch over to Betrayal. He did mention last week that he was more than likely going to be traveling today. So, like, that's fine, you know, like... Kath is having a period, got it. Really, Animal? More or less dead, at least physically. How are you? Well, that's not concerning. I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. Why have I done that? How we spin up the turbo pumps for a few seconds just to test them. Well, on this particular engine, it didn't want to spin. So I went out with a wooden metal hammer and smashed it twice, came back, did the test again. It worked. Perfect. So yeah, we'll do some Betrayal, I think. And like I said, unless Kath does turn up. I mean, if Kath turns up, then we can do D&D. That'll be great. But it's not the end of the world if we don't play D&D today. Holidays override Dungeons and Dragons, I'm afraid. Just gonna pop the diorite back there, and then we can always come through and... That doesn't feel right, but okay. Oh no, it does. Yeah, it does feel right. Okay, let's do this one. And we'll get rid of those as well. When you are requested somewhere, put on shades and say hammer time. If Kath isn't here, I'll need to download table sim. Yeah, if you could, Jen. I have a feeling that Kath's probably not available, so it might not be a bad idea to do that. Bouldering yesterday, 2.5 hours climbing today for 5, which was probably a bad idea at 32 degrees centigrade. Probably was a bad idea. What sort of rocks were you climbing on, bouldering on? I know when, so my local rocks, my local bouldering stuff, it's all gritstone, and at temperatures above like 20 degrees centigrade, the rocks sweat, so you physically can't, well, you can't really climb on them. No D&D today? No, yeah, I did say earlier, like, the thing is with D&D, like, I would love to do it every week if we could, kind of thing. Like that would be great. But that's not practical for me because I've got to do the setup and stuff for each individual session. And also, you know, everyone that plays has things that they do in their lives, you know, and I can't expect anyone to not have a life just to play Dungeons and Dragons, you know? So I honestly couldn't remember where we played that game. Discord has mini games in the voice chat stuff now, by the way. I don't care. So we'll probably do Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is just as fun. Serenity. So you're not going to be missing out on like roleplay stuff. We'll still do roleplay things, but board games. Well, nerds, I have some data to work on. I'll be lurking. Thank you very much, T-Man. Thanks for stopping by. Again, congratulations on the job. It's good to hear from you. I was starting to wonder where you'd been. Now I kind of know. Now I know. Now, became a rocket engineer. It's fine, you know. Only minor things like that. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, like in terms of D&D, as much as I would love to play D&D like every Saturday, it's not really feasible to be able to do that. I want to make sure that this works. It should work. It's the exact same as what's going on down there, and I don't think I've missed anything. It's not feasible for multiple different reasons. We're all, yeah. Thanks, guys. I kept it a secret from y'all. No, that's cool, dude. Like, I understand, man, you know? I kept my job a secret from Twitch, like, when I was in education. I kept that secret for a very, very, very long time. So, yeah, don't worry about it, dude. Have you ever thought about this? Old people now have bingo events. When our generation gets old, it'll probably be pen and paper evenings. I will say, Serenity, it's not just old people that play bingo. Locally, there's like this something called Club Bingo, where they play bingo, but in between like every 5 numbers or whatever that's announced, they put on like a piece of clubbing music. And you have to get up and you have to dance, kind of thing. What do I have in here that shouldn't be in here? Slime. I love bingo. Boring womble job. Education? I was a teacher for 9 years. So I kept that secret from Twitch for I think 8. Because I streamed. I'd already got the job. I think so. Don't knock the bingo. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of bingo. I'm not gonna lie. But then again, I'm old. You're not that old, Jen. You're only, what, like 3 years older than me? Right? 3 years older than me? When I'm old as fuck, I'm still gonna be playing video games. Yeah. Me too. I'm not growing up. I'm not growing up. I'll still be doing stuff. Now, the problem... Sure. Well, never mind. That was the quickest data transfer ever. Okay. Right. Okay, so we have now completed 2 layers of our sugarcane farm, which is great. Absolutely amazing. It's starting to look good too, I think. So I guess the next stage is doing the third layer. I guess that's the next part. That's another binder done, yeah. I'm pretty pleased that we were able to do like the whole of the second layer today. I thought we might struggle with like, I hate scaffolding. I hate scaffolding so much. And it works as well by the looks of it. Look. There goes the hopper minecart. Shame that all of that Sugarcane is just going to get wasted to despawn. It's another one that you've got to take home. Okay. Yeah, pen and paper evenings would be pretty cool. I do like the idea of like having like playing more board games, to be honest. Oh, I'm missing a piece of scaffolding. Don't know where it is. I don't care. We'll go this way. One piece of scaffolding away. So yeah, I'm gonna call it on the Minecraft segment of the stream. When we come back, we will be doing Betrayal at House on the Hill with Gem, with Discount, and with Animal. Kath has gone to sleeper mode, actually. So he is now idle on Discord, but that I still don't think he's going to make it. I think, yeah. So yeah, we'll play Betrayal and ooh, actually, do I have that downloaded? Do I need to download that now? And we're going to have a lot of fun. Mandatory fun will commence. It's been a while since we've played Betrayal as well, so it's going to take me a minute to kind of figure out how to play. Again, because I can never remember. It's okay, we've got Discount. Discount will be able to tell us how to do it, right, Discount? What happened to RimWorld? I haven't played it, mainly because of time commitments. I really enjoy doing Minecraft at the moment. What? Don't tell me what to do. Right, I'll be back shortly. Yeah, sorry, yeah, RimWorld. Here, let me switch over to this one real quick while we're talking about RimWorld. So RimWorld, like, I'm not against playing it again. It's just, I only get to, like, stream twice, maybe a week, including Saturdays. So it's really only Saturdays and then one other day in the week that I can stream. And I just haven't felt like playing anything else other than Minecraft. I'm really enjoying Minecraft right now. And it's a sort of a game where I can just play it and relax. I don't have to like hyper think about something in order to play the game. Whereas RimWorld is one of those games where you have to think about what you're doing a lot. If that makes sense. You've kind of like got to plan things forward. And it's a little bit more energy intensive, I think. So yeah, because we were on the Space Divas save, and I do want to finish that save at some point. So I will come back to Space Divas. But yeah, patiently returns, waits for the return to KSP. Exactly, that's another game that I need to get back into the swing of playing. Off stream, I've been playing a little bit of Cities Skylines, and I'm considering maybe bringing that to the stream, because I'm quite enjoying that, and that's something where you can kind of play it idly, but at the moment I'm still kind of learning the game quite a bit, so yeah, City Skylines 2 in September, that's true. Well, that might be what we play, is City Skylines 2 instead of City Skylines. I have played Skylines on stream in the past, but I mean, this was like 5-6 years ago. Already pre-ordered it. Sounds like a good idea. So yeah, there are other games that I will probably end up playing at some point. It's just that at the moment, my focus is on Minecraft. I'm really enjoying playing the Minecraft. I'm really enjoying it. So there will be other games that we'll play. Anyway, I'm gonna head and get something to eat real quick, and then we'll be back with Betrayal at House on the Hill.